Ayo, 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 ayo,
And welcome to Kusora Media Group special episode. We are going to today discuss the Golden Globes 2019. We're going to talk about the results, who won, who didn't, and we're just going to do a roundtable type discussion of our thoughts and opinions on the results and the winner. I am Joseph Torres. I am a YouTuber, potential filmmaker, and I'm an entertainer of many things. I like comics. I like all sorts of cool stuff. I'm going to take it to the couple hosts to introduce themselves and take it to Drew.
Hello, I'm Drew. So right now I'm pretty much nothing. I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have any other form of social media. But yeah, I like movies, so I was really excited about the Golden Globes. So I'm happy to discuss this.
Well, that was Drew, and we also have Kobe. Kobe, let's introduce yourself to the world.
That was beautiful, Joe.
Thank you.
I'm Kobe. I play video games. Yeah, that's really much it. I'm not really going to talk much. I'm going to let these guys do it because they know more about the movie awards than I do. So, yeah.
And we also have Rooney. Take it away, Rooney.
Hey guys, my name is Bren versus Food. Everyone calls me Rooney. I'm an upcoming YouTuber, avid writer, and I just want to discuss and see what my fellow co-hosts have to say about the Golden Globes. Let's get it.
Excellent stuff, guys. So about an hour, a couple minutes ago, the Golden Globes 2019 ended. We saw a lot of surprises, some expectations, and mostly stuff I expected personally. I don't have a list, but Drew, do you have a list so we can just talk about it and see what we got for Golden Globes 2019?
Yeah, should we start with the big one and go with the best motion picture?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start with Best Picture in Drama, because this one kind of surprised me.
Yeah, best picture drama went to Bohemian Rhapsody. I dig it.
This surprised me a lot because I actually really liked Bohemian Rhapsody. I find it to be one of the better music biopics of the past couple of years. And I think the highlight of the movie for me personally was Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury.
Oh, definitely.
For me personally.
And Rami Malek, spoiler alert, Rami Malek also won Best Actor in a Motion Picture. So, this film did pretty well. And, I love Rami Malek, don't get me wrong, but for me, the highlight was, just reenacting a whole lot of the music videos and live performances. Like, one of the things I found very interesting about this movie was that day one, they reshot the Live at Wembley concert. The Live Aid concert. They reshot the Live Aid concert. And the reason they did it on day one was to check to see if the cast had chemistry with each other. Because if Rami Malek didn't have chemistry with the other people playing, the band, they were going to scrap the film right then and there. But they did so well that they immediately put in the budget for it. They immediately said, film the rest of this film.
Yeah, that was really cool for me. I think actually they announced the other day that the DVD version of the film is actually going to have the rest of that Wembley concert that they filmed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that part. Rooney, what did you think of Bohemian Rhapsody winning Best Picture for Drama? Did you expect it to win?
I really didn't expect it to because, I'm not going to lie, I didn't see it. But after hearing a lot of reviews and stuff from fellow colleagues and friends, I was pretty happy it won.
I in an interesting turn of events, I actually thought that they were going to give it to Black Panther. I don't know why, but something in my gut told me that it was either going to be Black Panther or A Star Is Born. I didn't think about Bohemian Rhapsody.
I thought it was going to be Stars Born or If Beale Street Could Talk, because I heard that was a really good one too. I feel like Black Panther was just put in there as kind of a gimmick thing, like, we accept action hero and superhero movies as being good too, because they had the whole controversy earlier this year about how the Oscars was going to have a best popular film, and people thought that meant that these movies like Black Panther couldn't be up for best picture, and I feel like they kind of just put it in there as we recognize this movie thing.
Yeah, that is an interesting point, but what I think is cool about it is that it does show that, these superhero and comic book films aren't just a niche thing anymore. We can actually compare these films to other movies. We can, this is not just a niche thing anymore. What do you think, Rooney?
No, I absolutely agree. I feel like Black Panther really did transcend the generation, and it broke out of the mold and stuff of just being a comic book film. No, it actually wasn't. It really changed the landscape in marketing of films that are going to come for a long time. So I was really excited about Bohemian Rhapsody, and I could totally tell. But I could totally tell that Rami Malek really liked the project, and he really got into it, and he put his best impression on, and I thought it was great.
I just want to
So,
clarify something. Sorry. I
no,
still
you
want,
go ahead.
yeah, sorry. I didn't want to make it seem like I didn't like Black Panther. I thought it is very well deserving of a Best Picture nomination. I just thought that the way they went about it
I'll
was
say
kind
that
of
one more
sketchy.
time, Drew.
I do think that Black Panther was worthy of a Best Picture. I was just saying that the way this Hollywood went about nominated, I felt was kind of a little bit sketchy and things like that. Not, I would have been happy if it actually did get it though. That's what I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Kobe, what did you think about Bohemian Rhapsody being Best Motion Picture for Drama, and do you think that Black Panther could have had a chance?
Considering I didn't see Bohemian Rhapsody, I can't say much about it. But I definitely think Black Panther should have gotten it because I don't know, it was a really good movie, especially for being like culturized and whatnot, and like this black superhero and whatnot, and just like it had so many good like I don't know what I'm trying to say. I lost my train of thought, but I thought it was I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you brought up the whole black superhero thing, because a big reason why a lot of people are looking forward to Black Panther and to a lesser and to an even greater extent into the Spider-Verse, which we're going to talk about later on, is how it answers the much needed call for representation in Hollywood. And I think that was a big running thing for Black Panther. Overall, for me personally, I think I was very surprised with Bohemian Rhapsody winning. I definitely don't have a problem with it winning. I thought it was a really good movie. What next do we have, Drew, as far as winners?
The next one is Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, and the winner was Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. I felt Rami Malek was very well deserving of this award. I didn't see any of the other films, so I can't judge anybody else. The only other two I could have seen winning based on hype was Bradley Cooper from A Star Is Born and Willem Dafoe, because I heard he did a really great interpretation of Van Gogh. I was rooting for Malek the whole time because I really dug his performance, and so I was happy with that too.
Yeah, I was. For me personally, like I could definitely have seen Rami Malek or Bradley Cooper winning either the roles, because I think for both movies, Stars Born and Bohemian Rhapsody, I think the highlights for both of those films were Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury and Bradley Cooper. I was also very surprised by seeing John David Washington being nominated for the movie Black Klansman, which I really dug the movie Black Klansman, but I wouldn't say that John David Washington's performance was the highlight for the movie. For me personally, I thought the highlight role in that movie was Adam Driver. But once again, he wasn't the main actor in the movie. He was just a supporting role. Rooney, what are your thoughts on Rami Malek winning Best Actor?
I'm pretty excited for Rami Malek. It just shows the depth and the integrity of him that he is as an actor, and the performance levels that he can go and channel and achieve. And I'm really happy for him, and I want to see what he's going to do in his next project.
Excellent. Kobe, do you have any thoughts?
No, not for this one. I don't have much knowledge on was it Rami Malek you said?
Yeah, Rami Malek.
Well, Rami, yeah, I don't. Yeah, sorry.
I found it interesting about how you mentioned John David Washington. You didn't think he was like a big part of the movie, like a selling point for the movie? I haven't seen the movie, but like what about him?
I wouldn't say he was a selling point of the movie, because I think for me the only other thing I've ever seen John David Washington in was the show Power with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and I wasn't ever really super impressed with his performance in that movie, and I wasn't really a super fan, like big on that show to begin with. So when I heard that he was in this movie, I'm like, oh, okay, this could be cool. But he surprised me a lot, but I just don't think he was the highlight of the movie. I think John David Washington is a good actor. I do find him to be one of the better like son actors compared to a lot of others. But then again, when your father is Denzel Washington, some of that talent has to rub off of you.
What was that? Who was that actor we were talking about earlier? The guy from Sorry to Bother You.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, I felt he should have been nominated for Sorry to Bother You. At least he did a phenomenal job in that movie. Such a very quirky performance and really out there. And it was kind of interesting because a lot of the times he wasn't even speaking, and because they had the whole David Cross being the white voice thing going, and I thought he did a really good job. I'm surprised he didn't at least get recognized.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. But we still have the Academy Awards. So maybe they'll surprise us with a nomination.
Perhaps, yeah.
Let's move on to the next thing. What do we got?
Best Performance and Actress in Motion Picture Drama. Winner, Glenn Close. The Wife. Yeah, I didn't really see that movie. I haven't seen any of those movies. Interestingly enough, Melissa McCarthy was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress, but lost to Glenn Close. She was nominated for Can You Ever Forgive Me? I always find it interesting when she gets nominated, Melissa McCarthy, because she is a really talented actress. It's just, she's so known for being such bad comedies, and it kind of gives her a bad reputation. Yeah. But when she puts in the effort, she's really great.
Yeah, that surprised me too. Because usually when you think of Melissa McCarthy, you don't really think of more dramatic roles. You think mostly for comedy. So I think that definitely surprised me. And now it makes me really want to watch Can You Ever Forgive Me?
There are a couple of actors this year who flip-flopped on their genres, because Jim Carrey was in Dark Crimes this year, which... Yeah, Dark Crime... Yeah, that was a terrible movie, but that kind of backfired on him.
Oh, yeah. What do you guys think, Kobe? Do you have any thoughts on the Best Actress Award?
Not really. Again, I didn't really watch it as much as I should have. When it comes to movies... I'm not. So you guys are more more movies and actors and actresses, on different variety. For me, it's mostly just strictly superheroes and whatnot and stuff like that. I don't spread myself out there for movies as much as I should, but I don't know. It's just really what I grew up on.
What about you, Rooney? Any thoughts?
No, I kind of agree with Kobe and stuff, and I like the valid opinions that you guys brought to the table about the subject so far. It's just that I feel like I've only seen Glenn Close in Guardians of the Galaxy, where she was Nova Prime. So I'm kind of with Kobe on this. I don't really watch movies as a whole unless they look interesting to me. I still got to see Bohemian Rhapsody. I still got to see Black Klansman. I did see the list and stuff. I'm looking at the list for the Golden Globes also. Nicole Kidman was a nominee. I think Nicole Kidman's a fabulous actress. So,
oh yeah, definitely. Well, speaking. Well, we can move on to the next thing, shall we? Or Drew, do you want to just skim through them and see what we can talk about?
Yeah, because I know a lot of us didn't see a whole lot of these movies, so we can just briefly skim through them. We could talk about the nominees too if we wanted to. Best Motion Picture Musical Comedy, winner was Green Book. Which, on CNN, they were talking about how it was very weird that this was nominated as a comedy. But the Golden Globes always seem to do this. They always seem to nominate something that's not funny under a comedy. And I feel like it's... So when the Oscars come...
Or not a musical.
Yeah, so I feel like when the Oscars come, you have the Best Musical Comedy, which is usually a drama that wins it. And they have the Best Drama. So it kind of adds more tension for the Oscars, where it's oh, which of these two is going to win, you know?
Yeah, I was looking at because I think of it very concretely when I think of comedy or musical. So I was either thinking that it was either going to be Vice or Mary Poppins Returns. I haven't seen too much of either of those movies, but from what I have seen, Mary Poppins Returns, it definitely does fit the musical and even comedy, because I have seen a lot of the musical numbers. Well, for those of you who might not know, I work at Regal Cinemas, so I'll do theater checks and just I'll watch movies for free. So I have seen a little bit of Mary Poppins Returns, and I could definitely have seen it winning Best Motion Picture for comedy or musical. Bernie, what did you think about Mary Poppins and Vice?
See, I never seen Mary Poppins. I want to see it. I saw Aquaman the day Mary Poppins came out, so...
Okay.
And Mary Poppins, though, it does look really good. I'm waiting until it comes out on DVD. I'm going to pick it up. My niece wants to watch it, so I think that's pretty cool. I thought the first Mary Poppins was really good. I liked how when I saw the trailer for it, how Emily Blunt really did put on a good Julie Andrews impression.
That's actually interesting because I've never actually seen the original Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Can we take a second to appreciate the fact that Julie Andrews wasn't in Mary Poppins, but she was in Aquaman?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was an
She was the
Aquaman.
Kraken.
Yeah. I like how she chose not to be in Mary Poppins, but she chose to be a giant monster in Aquaman.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting too. I mean, I also like the fact how when I was a kid, I had to watch Sound of Music if my mom punished me. Music
Wait,
as an adult. No.
Wait, what? You had to watch what?
Wait, what?
Where's this
Can we
going?
talk about that for a second?
Yeah, what?
So my mom loves musicals and stuff. And when we were bad, she would put on either Wizard of Oz or she'd put on Sound of Music when we were kids. So
That's a punishment?
at the time, I was watching Sound of Music, and I was like, man, I really hate this damn movie. And then like I saw it again in like third grade in elementary school, and then I came home to my mom. I was like, I am 16, going on 17. I need someone older and wiser. And she goes, I see what you did there.
What'd you do
That's
there?
awesome.
Yeah, so I do love the Sound of Music as an adult now. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, but as a kid, you were kind of forced into hating it because it was seen as a punishment, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were
if you
forced to love it.
You were
I don't-
forced to love it before you realized it.
Kobe, what did you have any thoughts on Mary Poppins Returns or Vice?
Again, I never saw it. I mean, it looked good. Like I wish I did see it, but yeah. I mean, is it a musical or is it like
Mary
It's a
Poppins?
musical.
Yeah.
it is? Yeah, I mean, I knew. I figured it was.
Oh, it's Mary
Yeah.
Poppins.
The only thing I've come close to seeing of Mary Poppins would probably be like Nanny McPhee. I think that's the closest I've seen for something in that similarity.
So, with if no one else has any more thoughts on that portion, we can move on to the next nomination. Drew, what else you got?
We just did Green Book, so now we're going to Best Performing Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. That's Olivia Colman. None of us saw these movies, I don't think. Mary Poppins, Favorite, 8th grade. Did you see 8th grade, Joe?
I didn't see 8th grade.
Okay, and then there's Tully or Crazy Rich Asians. I didn't see any of those, so I don't
Yeah, I
really
didn't see
have
any
much.
of those either.
I don't really have much comments on that.
Do you want to just move on to the next thing then?
Yeah, we can move on to the next one. Let's find the one that we know. Oh, Best Director. So nominees were Bradley Cooper, Star is Born, Alfonso Cuarón, Roma, Peter Farley, Green Book, Spike Lee, Black Klansman, and Adam McKay, Vice. And the winner was Alfonso Cuarón, I think I'm saying that right, for Roma, which I'm not surprised by this one. Based on his previous record with movies like Gravity and Children of Men, I felt like he was almost destined to win this one, especially with how artsy Roma was. I didn't see Roma, but from everything I've seen about it, it's a very artistic film, and he's a very artistic director. And since this is like that on extreme, I feel like this was just born for him. But
Yeah, this one kind of surprised me too because I really liked this guy's work in the past. I haven't really got a chance to see this movie yet, but I kind of felt like this was. I'm really glad he won this award because I feel like I really liked Gravity and I really liked Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and it's really cool to see him to see his evolution as a director. And yes, I found out this guy directed Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban today, and just for this podcast.
Huh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, no, this he was the guy who directed Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which evidently is one of my personal favorites of the Harry Potter franchise. Kobe, do you have any thoughts on the Best Director or any of the other Best Director wins or any of the other Best Director nominations rather?
Not really. No, I don't really know many directors. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just name a director you know, just for giggles.
Michael Bay.
Wonderful choice.
Okay.
But wait, Kobe,
Rooney,
do you have any
what are
thoughts
your-
on... Oh, sorry.
Steven Spielberg.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's a good director. Rooney, what are your thoughts on the win?
I'm kind of excited that Alfonso Cuarón, yeah, I'll call him Alfonso, that he won
Yeah, it
this
works.
one. I never seen Gravity. I have seen Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. I do love Azkaban. I think it's one of my favorite movies. I think it's the best in the Harry Potter franchise because that's like where you start seeing that everything's getting darker and the plot line's getting more thicker and the kids are actually growing up And yeah, I just think the guy was a pretty good actor and stuff, and I still think Azkaban has one of the best stories.
Yeah, it's really nice to
You know.
see that, this is where this director has, it's really nice to see how he's progressed as a filmmaker and director, and it's really cool that he finally got an award like this. If we don't have anything else to say about these, we can move on to the next one. Drew, what do you got?
Well, I just want to acknowledge and appreciate Prisoner of Azkaban as well, because that really is like one of the that really is the best Harry Potter movie. I mean, my personal favorite is Goblet of Fire, but in terms of film,
Yes.
Azkaban gets everything right. I was on Reddit the other day. And,
I have to agree.
yeah, Azkaban's in the top 250 Reddit movies of all time.
Really?
Yeah, it's low on
Oh.
it's like maybe like 190 something, I think, but still, the fact that it made the list is pretty impressive. From the few things I've seen from Alfonso, I think I like him as a director. I never really liked Gravity. I always thought that movie was a bit overrated, but I still thought it was filmed really well. Did he win Best Director for that movie, or when that came out?
He did, the movie did receive some nominations. Yeah, it did win. He did win Best Director at the Academy Awards for that movie.
All right, yeah, that's all I have.
He
Pretty
did
much
win
have to
Best
say.
Director.
Let's go to Best Foreign Movie, Roma. Yeah.
Excellent. Good job on him.
Part of the reason I didn't watch the movie is because it's in Spanish, and at the time I didn't really want to sit down and watch a 2.5-hour Spanish movie and reading subtitles. So I wasn't really down for that. But I mean, now that it's one, I'm kind of want to check it out now.
It's actually interesting you say that, because there's actually a lot of people who don't like watching foreign movies because they don't like having to sit there and read subtitles. I'm just I don't mind reading subtitles because I used to watch a lot of old spaghetti westerns. Some of them are in Italian, or old samurai flicks, and a lot of them are in Japanese. That's actually kind of an interesting topic. We can, Kobe, how do you feel about having to watch a movie or a show and reading subtitles? Does that bother you? Do you care?
Not really. Well, I mean, the only thing that really I do watch subtitles is for anime. I mean, that's really much it, because I prefer sub over any dub, really, because obviously it's the better voice acting and whatnot.
Right.
So I mean, yeah.
How about you, Rooney? Do you prefer not to watch movies that have to read subtitles, or do you not care?
I kind of like movies that have subtitles because it puts a different twist on the movie, and it really lets you see a different perspective. And I like how it correlates to the audience that's coming to see it. And as someone who is learning Spanish and does speak a little Spanish, it's really cool to see how people interact with different languages.
Yeah, I never thought about that, because I watch a couple of programs where a lot of the dialogue is subtitled, because the show Narcos or some episodes of Vikings have subtitles and
I mean, all I can really think about subtitle movies and stuff is that when people watch movies that have subtitles and they're in different languages, that's their culture that they latch onto. And
Definitely.
It really gives a good magnification of how other people who don't speak the language could grasp onto it or start learning it if they want.
I definitely agree. If we don't have anything else to talk about for this topic, we can move on to the next one. Take it away, Drew.
Alright, the next one is Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Winner was Christian Bale for Vice. He did an interpretation of Dick Cheney, which, if you haven't seen the trailer, he looks dead on like Dick Cheney. And Sam Rockwell plays George W. Bush in that movie, and he also looks dead on like George Bush. So I feel like they're going to get a pretty good nod for the makeup department in the Oscars for that movie. But I mean, out of everyone nominated, though, I feel like...
To be honest...
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
No, you go ahead, Drew.
Oh, no, I was saying, out of everyone else nominated, Robert Redford, John C. Reilly, Viggo Mortensen, Lin-Manuel Miranda, out of everyone else nominated, I feel Christian Bale stood out the most. I mean, I didn't see any of those movies either. Yeah, first of all, the name Christian Bale stands out, and he gave one of those notorious Bale performances.
Yeah, I'm very, I was not too surprised, to be honest, because just based on what I saw from, trailers and commercials and clips, Christian Bale is one of those actors where he really is a chameleon. He will go that extra mile for a role, whether it's, gaining weight for Dick Cheney or putting on muscle for Batman or getting super skinny for I don't remember the name of the movie, but he got like very
the Machinist.
The Machinist, yeah. He does go above and beyond for roles, and I think despite the mixed reception of Vice, I've heard the highlight of the movie has been the performances from Sam Rockwell and Amy Adams and Steve Carell. Kobe, do you have any thoughts on Christian Bale winning Best Actor?
I just really like him in Batman, and I think he should come back as Batman because he's really good.
Okay, fair. Rooney, do you have any thoughts on Christian Bale winning? Are you a fan of Christian Bale?
I love Christian Bale. I think he was a great Batman, but not only too, like his acting chops and stuff was really stretched. When I saw American Hustle with him, with Amy Adams, with Robert De Niro,
yes,
Yeah, it's a great
with
movie.
Bradley Cooper. I love Jennifer Lawrence. I love American Hustle. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I really like that one too. I dug it a lot.
He can go away
If
for
we have
that
anything
role,
else, if we don't have anything else to say on it, Drew, do you have anything else to say? Anything else?
I was just saying, Bale gained a lot of weight for American Hustle too.
Yeah, he did.
gain a lot of weight.
But
This guy just
not only did he gain the weight, but for Vice, he gained the weight and he put on a lot of extensive makeup for this one.
Yeah, he's another really
So
dedicated
with that in
actor.
mind, So with that in mind, we can move on to the next nomination. Drew, what do we got?
All right. Well, there's best screenplay. We don't really have to talk about that one because it's movies we
The
didn't.
screenplay.
Yeah, winner was Green Book, which I'm not surprised by that one. Out of all the screenplays,
No.
that story seemed like it was worthy of it.
Yeah.
Best performance of a supporting actress. Regina King, If Beale Street Could Talk, won that one. I'm glad that movie got
I
recognized.
saw a trailer for that, and
Yeah,
I
it looked
really
really-
dug it.
Yeah, it looked really good. I'm glad that movie's getting recognition. I think it might get more recognition when the Oscars come around, because I feel like it just seems like a really Oscar-y kind of movie, you know?
Yeah, it's. I don't want to call it Oscar bait because I feel like it's a bad word, but it looks like that kind of movie.
Next category, Best Original Song. And I thought this was probably the most predictable winner out of the whole night, which was Shallow from A Star Is Born. You can't turn the radio on without hearing that song.
Yeah, I feel like it was. I remember like "Shallow" from A Star Is Born really popular, and then "All the Stars" from Black Panther was really big when around the time the movie was coming. I'm not too familiar with the other tracks. I'm not surprised that "All the Stars" didn't win because it's a style that wouldn't really, because it is like a hip hop R&B song. It's a style that doesn't. I don't think that appeals to the people who like make these kind of decisions. Kobe, do you have thoughts on "Shallow," "Stars Born" winning Best Original Song, or thoughts on "All the Stars" by Black Panther?
I just think Chadwick, what's his name? Chadwick what? Bode? I can't pronounce his name.
Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman. I just think he was a really good actor for Black. I don't think there could have been anyone else to be T'Challa other than.
Oh, we're not talking about actor. We're talking about the song "All the Stars" for the Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Oh, the song.
Yeah, because it was Best Original Song.
Oh, I thought it worked out perfect. Like Kendrick Lamar did a really good job writing the song for the movie.
Right.
It just tied in really well with the theme and the story and whatnot, and yeah, I just thought it was really good.
But are you surprised that it didn't? Are you surprised that it didn't win?
No, I mean there were other good ones, like you said. There were ones that spoke to the heart and whatnot.
Cool. Rooney, what do you think of "Shallow" from A Star Is Born winning, and do you think "All the Stars" should have won?
He said he'll be right back. But I guess...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys have heard Shallow, right? What do you guys, as a song, what do you guys think of it?
I think it's an okay song. It's not musically. It's not really my thing. It's not really it's not really my tastes. I think "All the Stars" is a little more among my personal listening habits. But I give it all credit because what I do like about "Shallow" is that a lot of it was sung by Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. I didn't even know that Bradley Cooper could. I didn't know Bradley Cooper could get down like that.
I didn't know Bradley Cooper could sing. I didn't know Lady Gaga could act. And this movie brought both of them.
I mean,
But I kind of
you
feel
learn something
bad.
new every day.
I kind of feel bad for Black Panther because all the that movie came out way back in March, and the way Hollywood works is after a few weeks you kind of forget that movie exists, and that's why all these Oscar movies come out in the fall. So so all the stars had like
Yeah.
8 months of like dead time before the Golden Globes came around. But the Grammys haven't started yet. I feel like it'll shine during the Grammys, all the stars and Kendrick Lamar and stuff like that for Black Panther.
Yeah, I think he's going to get more recognition at the Grammys because the Golden Globes and the Oscars work the same way, that they pay more attention to movies that came out like during the fall and the winter than they do like early than they do during the summer. That's why like Shape of Water took home like practically everything last year at the Academy Awards.
Last movie to take home everything like that was Slumdog Millionaire, right?
Yeah, it was Slumdog Millionaire, and then it was Slumdog Millionaire, Shape of Water, and I think Return of the King. I think what was like a 1 year that Return of the King got nominated, went home with like 11 awards. Well, we don't have anything else to talk about for this one. Do we want to move on to the next thing?
I think, is he back?
Yeah, he's back. Rooney,
Awesome, yeah.
what are your thoughts on Shallow from A Star Is Born winning Best Original Song, and do you think it should have gone to All the Stars from Kendrick Lamar and SZA from the Black Panther sound?
I never saw A Star Is Born. People told me it was amazing. I said I would check it out when it comes out on DVD. I absolutely love the song All the Stars. And like you guys said, I think it's going to get a lot more recognition at the Grammys.
I think we're on agreement here. So let's go on to the next nomination. Drew, take it away.
Another one's Best Original Score, which is what was won by First Man. I heard that was a pretty good score. Though Isle of Dog was nominated. I thought that had an amazing score. You saw it, right?
Yeah, no, the First Man. I really like the score for First Man, but I think, my personal opinion, I would have given the Best Original Score to Isle of Dogs. I really, really like the score for Isle of Dogs. The soundtrack was really good.
That made like half the movie for me. Like it's visually, it's beautiful, but then like the soundtrack, even I don't know, especially like the older songs that they had in there. Like I have one of the songs on my playlist now. It's "I Won't Hurt You." That song's from the '60s,
yeah.
But the way they remixed it sounds really nice.
Right. I also want to like give it up to the Black Panther, the original score, not the soundtrack, but the original score. I think it is one of Ludwig Göransson's better scores. He's been doing a lot of stuff lately, and I personally think it's one of his better scores for more recent films. I just love the use of the African music with chanting and just the constant like the drum pattern you hear. Like you remember the drum pattern, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I think it was the first time I've ever heard trap beats in a movie score, and that's something to give it credit for, because I've never heard trap beats for a music score up until that movie. Kobe, what are your thoughts on First Man winning Best Original Score, and do you think it should have gone to Black Panther?
It's really hard to tell. Like I said earlier on the podcast, like I don't watch a lot of movies, and the only ones I do watch have superheroes, so it's like it's hard for me to pick what song is good, and what did better than the next. So I think we can all agree that Black Panther had a really good soundtrack. It was very touching, very moving, and I think it should have won. It had its moments. Yeah, I think it deserves something. Like some recognition.
Definitely.
Kobe, what's your you like the superhero movies? What's your favorite superhero soundtrack out of all the Marvel DC movies? Because they have really good soundtracks in them too, if you can think of it.
Probably just actually, Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one had a really good soundtrack. I love that one. It was really good. I could listen to it, watch the movie. It was, I don't know. It was just it was very, it had a chill vibe to it, and it was I could listen to it while I'm laying down, or like when I was in school, like doing homework and whatnot. And it was nice, I liked it.
Yeah, it kind of redefined a lot of music in the future too. Like Baby Driver last year felt really influenced by that style of music going along with the cinematography and things like that. It's
oh my god, I can't believe I did not bring that up. What you said, Baby Driver. So I didn't see it the first few months it came out. I think I saw it last year of like October or whatever. When I first saw it, I was impressed. Like, it was a really good movie, and like the music in that was like really good too. I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Awesome sauce. Rooney, did you like Black Panther's score?
I loved Black Panther's score. I thought Killmonger's theme was really good. I liked how it had like
that's my favorite.
I loved
That's
how
also
it had
very
the
controversy too. Like people saying like, oh, they should not have killed Killmonger. They should have kept him alive.
Yes. But what were you saying about Killmonger's theme, Rooney?
the Wakandan aspects of the marimba and the timpani in the back and stuff, but then like it started going like piano and strings, and it was like do 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 do, and then it was like do 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 do, and then like started getting more beat and stuff to it. And then the other theme I really liked was I liked T'Challa's theme where he's talking to his father, and he's like really,
I really like that score. I really like that section of music.
Yeah, he's like really disowning them and stuff and saying that you lied to him, you turned your back on him, he was a fellow Wakandan. And like it's just really good the way they incorporated that part of the story. And I'm a musician, so I love music and how it flows through a movie.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's something I do. You brought something about the Killmonger theme, about how it mixes the African tribalism with like a more modern sound. I think for me, like it really speaks to Killmonger's character because by technicality, he is from Wakanda. Like he can trace his roots back to Wakanda, but he was born in America. Like he's from Oakland, California. Like he's from the hood. And you really hear that essence, that part of it when like the trap beats come in, when it turns into like, when it turns into a Migos song pretty much. And it reminds you of like, even though he has roots in Wakanda, he's from America, and that it speaks to the difference between Africans and African Americans. And that's the thing I really liked about the track. Also, Rooney, since Drew brought it up, do you have what would you say would be your favorite score from a superhero?
Favorite superhero score? Well, I do love Hans Zimmer. I think he did a fantastic Superman rendition with Flight.
Yeah.
And where Superman's snapping Zod's neck at the end and stuff, where you just have that nice tension in the crescendo and the strings pulling back. And I also liked Rupert Gregerson-Williams, what he did for Wonder Woman when he did No Man's Land, and Hans Zimmer again with Junkie XL doing the Wonder Woman theme. My favorite composers are John Williams, Junkie XL, and Hans Zimmer, like Ludwig. I also like Michael Giacchino. What he did for Doctor Strange and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes, I was thinking about Michael Giacchino for Doctor Strange and Spider-Man.
I like Michael Giacchino. And then I like Alan Silvestri, how he did First Avenger, he also did Winter Soldier, and he did Infinity War.
Yeah. So, I don't know he did Infinity War.
Yeah.
I want to say for my favorite, like, since we're on the topic, I want to say my favorite score for superhero films, I gotta give it to the Dark Knight soundtrack. I love what was done with Wonder Woman, especially the theme. The Wonder Woman theme is I love the Wonder Woman theme. And of course, my two personal favorite things ever, the original John Williams Superman theme and the Danny Elfman Batman theme.
Yep.
Like, for me, that is the Batman theme song. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
The Danny Elfman Batman theme.
That's one of the things I actually liked about Justice League was that Danny Elfman brought back the Danny Elfman Batman theme.
Yes, I love those parts.
Really good too.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next thing. What do you got for us, Drew? Find a good one.
Animated film. What about that one? That was the next one on there. So,
all right, let's talk about that. I feel like we can get a lot out of this one.
Yeah, because the winner was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But there were a lot of really good animated films that came out this year, even ones that weren't nominated. So it's kind of a tough one to choose, but Personally, I feel that Into the Spider-Verse was well deserved that, as well as some of the other ones on this list.
Yeah, I've got to give it to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This was definitely my favorite animated film of this decade. Not only was it my favorite animated film of 2018, I've seen some people call it one of the best animated films of the decade. Like, I remember a YouTube channel I follow that I recommend everyone go watch or subscribe to. Whoever's listening to this, I double toasted on YouTube. They post a lot of great content. Martin Thomas of Double Toasted pretty much said that it's probably his favorite animated film of the decade, which is really big coming from him because he's really big on animation. He's an animator himself. But I will say that I think this category had a lot of competition because I really like Isle of Dogs. Despite my issues with Incredibles 2, I thought it was still a commendable film. I think they did an average to good job with Incredibles 2. I just thought it personally wasn't really worth the 13 to 12 year wait they gave us.
I mean,
I never actually saw My Rye or Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I mean, there were worse Pixar movies that won Best Picture, Best Animated Picture. You know.
That's a good point.
I mean, like, what was it? Brave won.
Brave won.
I like
Inside Out won.
I liked Incredibles 2 more than Brave.
Yeah.
I liked Brave.
Kobe, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse winning Best Animated Feature?
I loved it. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was really good. It did a really good job, like, you know, the display and whatnot, and like the just different variety of like culture in it, and like between like him being Hispanic and like Black or African American, whatever, you know, just
like Afro Latino.
Yeah. And I really liked how. So I think there are people talking about this. How like, so spoiler alert, but remember that scene where he's leaving to school and his mom's talking to him in Spanish, but they didn't have subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like how they did that, but some people didn't. I think it's just because like they don't. I don't know. I don't really know why they did that, but I mean, I can kind of get behind it, I guess.
Can you explain that? What scene were you talking about?
It's just the one where he's leaving the school and his mom's saying goodbye to him, and she's like talking to him in Spanish, but like there's no subtitles as there normally would be.
People are upset about that.
So I mean, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because there's a couple scenes like at the house where like Miles' mother will start speaking in Spanish, and there was no subtitles. And what I really liked about that is just it's that bilingual. It's that bilingual. It's part of the culture. It's part of the culture.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And it just goes to show you like how much detail. Exactly, because it's so like
how much they actually pay attention to.
Yeah, like people just speaking bilingually. It's just so part of the culture, and it shows you that this is a regular thing now in the United States. We don't have to put subtitles on these types of things anymore. Like a majority of the population in the United States speaks Spanish now. This is not a regular thing. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Bernie, what are your thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse winning Best Animated Feature? And did you see any of the other movie?
I did not see. I saw Incredibles 2. I thought it was all right. It was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm looking at the list right now. I didn't see Ralph Breaks the Internet. I want to. I did just look up on a proxy I go to, and I found that they released the entire script of Into the Spider-Verse. And I found, so I found the part and stuff that Miles' mom is talking to him in Spanish. And literally it's like, va muchacho, which means, let's go, you're almost done. And then like, she says, donde le desate? So he's like, so she's like asking him and stuff, like, do you have everything, where you're going? Do you know where you're going? And he goes, yo no sé, which is you know what I mean? I'm still learning. So he's like, I am not, or he's like,
yo no sé, like I'm not.
Yeah. And then like, she's saying, ay Maria, esta nene me tiene loco. So she's like, tell Maria I said hi and stuff, and you should make friends, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still learning, but I can get my way through it. And he's like, and like, here's another line. She's like, Papa, lame, see you Friday. So she's like, Miles, see you on Friday. I tell your dad, like, see you on Friday, pick you up. And then, okay, mommy, hasta luego. Hasta luego is like, see you for now. Like, I
Right.
say that to people all the time. And then, like, friends talking to him, Miles, te va bien en la escuela. Are you having fun at school? Like, what's your school's name? And he goes, seguro que sí, which means, yeah. You know what I mean? It's just, like, little things that, like, it's cool to know because I'm talking to people. Okay, so in my family, I'm Puerto Rican because I have Puerto Rican family. One of my
Sure.
sister-in-laws is Puerto Rican, so I'm talking to a Puerto Rican. So I just feel like it's how the world's coming of age and stuff and how it's transitioning. And there's nothing wrong with it. So when I was sitting in the theater and I saw that, I had people like, I overheard whispers and stuff talking and saying, I understood that. Like, that's cool. Like, I don't need subtitles anymore.
Exactly,
It just
because that's something I really liked about this movie is that it's a minor thing, but it's that need for representation that people love. Like, despite what a bunch of not to get social political about it, but despite what a bunch despite what the alt-right and a bunch of reactionary right-wingers will say, representation it does matter, and when representation is done well, like we can get great stuff like this. Speaking of like go ahead, Kobe.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I also like how it's not the same Spider-Man story that we all know. It's literally a different story, and that's what makes it unique and special. Because this one is about Miles. It's not just about Peter Parker that we've seen for all these years. It's a new story, and not only that, it's all the other stories too. Like, we see a little bit of Gwen's story, we see a little bit of Spider Noir, and all of them, and it's really cool to see that.
That's actually something I want to touch upon, like regarding the animation style. Like this movie really truly is mixed media, because with each character you kind of have a different like art style. With like Spider-Man, with like Peter Parker Spider-Man, you have regular American comic book. With Miles Morales, his world has a very kind of like graffiti inspired vibe to it. It's very similar to Peter Parker's world, but it has kind of like that graffiti, very heavily inspired by that. And then you have Penny Parker with like an anime aesthetic. Like, she even has the style and the look is very anime inspired, even her facial expression. Spider-Gwen, even the style, even Spider-Gwen has her own style with like the way. And this is actually something pointed out to me, how her world, it looks a lot like the way Rico Renzi, who's a colorist for a lot of Spider-Girl comics, the way he draws the world in the Spider-Gwen comics. And then, of course, you have Spider-Ham, which is my personal favorite, who had a very cartoony style.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any thoughts on the mixed media, like all the different animation styles? I'm going to go with Drew for this one.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that they're actually different animation styles until you said it. It's kind of interesting how, even though they are different, they were able to make them all blend very well within the same universe.
Yeah.
I really liked how
Kobe, you have thoughts?
Yeah. Sorry. I really liked how it just, when watching it, it made you feel like you're in a comic. Like it.
Oh yeah, I love that style.
Like
love
it made it feel like you stepped inside of the comic book. Like you're there.
Rudy, do you have thoughts on the mixed media style?
Yeah, I wrote a review for it because I do like writing reviews and stuff, and people say I should start posting them. So here's just a little excerpt from it. So I put, so what can I say about Into the Spider-Verse? First, one word, amazing. 12 out of 10, worthy of that 100% rating. The cast was really well selected perfectly. Miles Morales was a key figure in the film. I liked how we got to see the person under the mask, ideology and the identity of Spider-Man, but also just painting the lore of Spider-Man as one race and diversity. Into the Spider-Verse breaks the mold of racial profiling, and it also elevates the expression and emotion that anyone from any background can don the mask and reflect choice upon your life. Hence why they pick those 6 spider people, because you really got to see the different perspectives of it. The animation was really cool. It's like Kobe said, you were inserted into a comic book. And I just feel like it was a love letter to everything Marvel, and with the passing of Stan Lee, this was the movie that Marvel made for him.
Yeah, I think this is very much a love letter to comics, and it's a love letter. Like it's the one movie that I feel like that really true. I think it's the best Spider-Man film ever, because I think this is everything that people have loved about Spider-Man for the past 5, 50, 60 years. And just, about 50 years. And just, it's everything that people love about Spider-Man for the past 50 years and just all culminated into one thing. And I think this is kind of in a lot of ways, this is kind of the Spider-Man movie I wanted. Because, not to go on too much of a tangent, but Spider-Man 3 has not aged well for me. And I never really liked those Spider-Man films either because they felt like more of the same thing.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming was cool, but not really. It wasn't really the return to form I was looking for. This was.
Well, let's go Spider-Man Far From Home. Makes our jaws drop because I think this should have some potential.
Guys,
what do you think, Ernie?
Can I pull in a wild card right now?
So
sure.
Spider-Man PS4 was a Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, very, very. I agree.
So.
I wholeheartedly.
1,000%.
2018 is the year of the Spider-Man, and they have the time is now to put out stuff for Spider-Man Far From Home. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, definitely. I'm surprised they haven't released the trailer for Far From Home yet.
Yeah, I'm surprised too because they technically already showed it at
Because Tom Holland didn't spoil anything.
They released in Brazil, right? For some reason.
Yeah, like a Brazilian Comic-Con, was it, Rooney?
Yeah, São Paulo. Yeah, Brazil.
Why that one? Is
cool.
it going to be filmed in Brazil?
No, they just showed it.
No.
They just showed the trailer for it at Sao Paulo, Brazil first. That's where they also showed the trailer for King of the Monsters. But they put that out. But Spider-Man Far From Home, we haven't seen it yet. Where is it?
I mean, plus you just had Aquaman that came out too. That would have been perfect to put in a superhero movie trailer.
True.
Yeah, but Marvel doesn't want it leading up too much though, because a lot of it. Kevin Feige, who is basically the godfather of Marvel and the architect who paints the picture of everything, said that Far From Home takes place minutes, seconds after the events of Endgame. So he said right now trying to show anything.
That might be a reason why.
Endgame. Yeah.
That might be a reason why. So with that in mind, this is the end of our show for the Golden Globes reaction. Yeah. This is the Kosora Media Group. I am Joseph Torres with
Kobe!
Bren versus Food.
And
Drew. Just Drew.
And
oh, great outro, guys. Really solid.
And viewers like you. Thank you.
And we're a Kosora Media Group. Check you guys out.
All right, see you
later.
Guys.